I don't understand, Sophia, I whispered, my hands trembling as I reached for hers across the cafe table. Why are you saying this now? After everything we've been through? She pulled her hand back like my touch burned her. Because, Daniel, I'm tired of waiting for you to become someone you're not. I need more than promises. I need a future. My chest tightened. A future? Haven't I given you everything I could? Every extra shift, every late night, every damn coin I saved, it was for us. Her eyes hardened. And yet, it's still not enough? You think love alone will feed me? Pay for my dreams? Pay for the life I deserve? I leaned forward, my voice cracking. We had a life planned. I stood by you when you couldn't pay rent, when you wanted to finish school. I sacrificed everything, Sophia. Doesn't that matter? It did, she said coldly. But people grow up. People realize love doesn't pay bills. Adrian can. The name hit me like a punch. Adrian? I repeated, almost choking on it. That arrogant prick from your class? The one with the shiny car and fake smile? Her lips curved into a smug little smile. That prick has a future. He has power. He knows how to make a woman feel secure. You, she paused, scanning me with pity. You're just comfortable, safe, ordinary. I don't want ordinary anymore. I laughed bitterly, though it sounded more like a sob. So all those nights we stayed up dreaming about our small house, our travels, our family, that was just practice until something better came along? Don't make this harder than it is, she muttered, rolling her eyes. I don't hate you. I just can't be with someone who'll drag me down. I slammed my hand against the table, making her flinch. Drag you down? I lifted you up when no one else cared. I skipped meals so you could eat, Sophia. I wore the same torn shoes so you could buy books. I believed in you when even your parents gave up. And this is how you repay me? She stood, brushing off her dress as though dusting away my love. You'll thank me one day. You'll realize I did you a favor by leaving. I rose too, my voice trembling with rage. No, I'll never thank you. You killed something in me tonight. She tilted her head, calm and cruel. You'll survive. Maybe you'll finally learn that love without ambition is worthless. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen and smiled, the kind of smile she used to give me. Adrian's waiting. Outside. I should go. Wait, I said desperately, grabbing her arm. Are you serious? You're just walking out? After all these years you're leaving me for money? She yanked her arm free. I'm leaving you for a future. I stood frozen as she walked to the door. My throat burned with words I couldn't say. Then she stopped, turned slightly, and delivered the final blow. Love doesn't pay bills, Daniel. But his money does. The cafe blurred. My knees felt weak, but I forced myself to follow her outside, into the night. And there he was, Adrian, leaning against his black car, smirking like he'd already won. He slipped an arm around her waist the moment she appeared. Everything good, babe? His voice dripped arrogance. She nodded, giving me a glance so sharp it sliced me in half. Perfect. Adrian looked at me with mock sympathy. Tough luck, buddy. Not everyone's cut out for the big leagues. He opened the car door for her like a gentleman from hell. Sophia slid inside without looking back. Adrian smirked. Don't take it personally. Some men are meant to shine and some well. They're meant to stay in the shadows. The engine roared, and the car disappeared into the darkness, taking her and my heart with it. I stood in the street, the rain starting to fall, soaking through my shirt. My fists clenched, my chest hollow. My voice cracked as I whispered to no one. She was my everything, and now she's gone. The raindrops mingled with the tears I refused to wipe away. People passed me on the sidewalk, some glancing, most ignoring, but I felt invisible. My world had collapsed in a single evening. I staggered down the road, my shoes splashing through puddles. Memories stabbed me with every step. Her laughter, her promises, her kisses. All lies. The voice in my head screamed, "You weren't enough. You'll never be enough." I stopped under a flickering streetlight, pressing my palms against my face. Why wasn't I enough? I whispered into the storm. But the night had no answers. Only the rain. Only my breaking heart and the echo of Sophia's. Words tearing me apart again and again. Love doesn't pay bills, but his money does. Man, you look like death, Daniel muttered as he dropped a paper bag onto my table. I pushed it back. Not hungry, he glared. You've said that for days. You're skipping meals, skipping sleep. What are you trying to do, waste away? I rubbed my eyes. I just don't feel like eating. Daniel leaned closer. You think starving will bring her back? You think punishing yourself will make the pain go away? She's gone, bro. Don't let her destroy you twice. His words stung. You think I don't know that? I wake up every night hearing her voice. I see her with him. I can't escape it. Then stop replaying it, he snapped. She made her choice. She's the shallow one, not you. I laughed bitterly. If that's true, why do I feel so worthless? She said I was too small for her dreams. Maybe she was right. Daniel slammed his fist on the table. Don't you dare believe her lies. You worked yourself to the bone for her. If she couldn't, value that. She's blind. You? You're not the failure here. She is. His anger cut through me. Then why does it feel like I lost everything? Because you loved her, he said simply. That's the only crime you committed. But now it's over. Either you stay in this pit or you climb out. The choice is yours. I fell silent, my chest aching. Daniel sighed, softer now. I can't. Pull you out, man. You've got to decide if you want to live again. At work later, I stared at my computer, words blurring together. My stomach growled, but I ignored it. Daniel? A gentle voice broke through. I turned. Lily stood there, her expression full of concern. Are you okay? She asked softly. I forced a smile. Just tired. She raised an eyebrow. You've been just tired all week. You barely touch your lunch. You barely talk. What's going on? I swallowed hard. It's nothing. Her gaze didn't waver. It doesn't look like nothing. I hesitated, then whispered, She left me, said I wasn't enough, said love doesn't pay bills. Lily's face softened. I'm sorry, that must have hurt. Hurt? I let out a bitter laugh. It gutted me. She made it sound like I was dead weight, like everything I did meant nothing. That's cruel, Lily said firmly. But that doesn't make her right. I shook my head. Doesn't it? If I was really worth something, wouldn't she have stayed? No, she said sharply.
She left because of her greed, not because of your worth. Don't confuse the two. Her certainty caught me off guard. You really believe that? Yes, she said. Love isn't a transaction. She treated it like one, and that's...
On her, not you? I lowered my voice. Then why do I feel so small? Because heartbreak lies, she answered gently. It tells us we're less when, really, we just cared more. Something in my chest cracked. You make it sound easy. It's not easy, she admitted. But it's survivable. You just need time and food. She nudged the sandwich Daniel had left earlier. Despite myself, I smiled faintly. You sound like my mom. Lily laughed softly. Then take the advice. Eat. Rest. Tomorrow, try again. Her kindness lingered even after she walked away. I looked at the sandwich, then at the screen. My chest still hurt. Sophia's words still echoed. But Daniel was right. Lily was right. Maybe I didn't have to stay broken forever. Daniel's hand gripped my arm as we pushed through the crowded hallway. Music thumped through the walls, laughter spilled out of every corner, and the scent of alcohol mixed with cheap perfume clawed at my nose. Come on, Daniel urged. You need this. One night out, loosen up, forget her. I forced a smile. I'm fine. Liar, he shot back. Just don't bite everyone's head off, all right? Try acting human. I didn't answer. The moment we entered, the room swallowed me whole. Lights, smoke, chatter, and then I froze. Sophia. She stood near the center, wrapped around Adrian's arm, her head thrown back in laughter like the world had finally given her a crown. My chest tightened, but I kept my mouth shut. Daniel muttered, "Oh, damn." Adrian's eyes landed on me first. He smirked, tugging Sophia closer as though I needed reminding who she belonged to now. "Look who crawled in," Adrian said loudly. "Didn't think you'd have the guts to show up." A couple of his friends chuckled. I clenched my fists, said nothing. Sophia tilted her head, studying me like I was some old relic. "I almost didn't recognize you. Still wearing the same cheap shoes?" Daniel bristled beside me. "Back off, Sophia." She ignored him. Her voice sliced through the music. "You know what he was, Adrian? A stepping stone, that's all. Something to stand on until I found something better." Laughter rippled around us. My stomach twisted, but I stayed silent. Rage surged through me, hot and sharp, but I buried it. Adrian leaned forward, sneering. "Guess you didn't even make a good stepping stone. You cracked too easily," Daniel snapped. "Say that again and I'll—" I grabbed his arm. "Don't!" My voice was low, steady. My anger was mine to hold. Sophia's smile widened. "See? Same old weak little boy, always afraid to fight, always beneath me." Someone behind her whispered, "Savage." Another laughed. Daniel hissed, "Why aren't you saying anything?" Because what could I say? Words wouldn't change the truth standing in front of me. She had chosen. She had burned the bridge and danced on the ashes. I took a step back. "Enjoy your night." Sophia raised her glass. "Oh, I will," Adrian added. "Better run before you embarrass yourself further." The group howled again. I turned without another word, the noise fading as I pushed past strangers out into the cold night air. Daniel stormed after me. "You let them humiliate you. You just stood there." "I know. You should have said something, anything." I stopped walking, staring at the dark sky. "If I speak, I stoop to their level, and I'm done crawling in the mud with them." Daniel's voice softened. "So what now?" I inhaled, the chill burning my lungs. For the first time in weeks, my head felt clear. I'm not chasing her. I'm not begging her to remember me. She thinks I'm a stepping stone, Daniel frowned. "Yeah? Then I'll build an entire empire out of stones like me. One day, she'll look up and realize she's the one standing in the dirt." Silence hung between us. Even Daniel looked, surprised at the steel in my tone. "Damn," he whispered. "That's the first real thing you've said all night." I gave a small smile. "Good. Then let's go. We've got work to do." As we walked away from the pulsing music, a vow rooted itself deep inside me. I wouldn't crumble. I wouldn't fade. I would rise higher than she ever dreamed, and I wouldn't need her to see it. I leaned over the table, staring at the endless data sheets. My manager whispered, "If we don't crack this model by tomorrow, the deal collapses." I muttered, "No pressure at all." He smirked. "Exactly. No pressure. Just millions on the line." The door opened, and a woman in a sleek navy suit walked in with an air of authority that made the room hold its breath. She carried herself like she owned the world. My manager straightened immediately. "Everyone," he said, "this is Evelyn Carter, visiting CEO." Evelyn's sharp eyes swept the room before landing on me. "You," she said, pointing slightly. "What's the problem here?" I froze. We're trying to align the forecast model with real-time cost variables, but it keeps breaking under stress scenarios." She walked closer. "Show me." My hands trembled as I opened the laptop. "Here's the formula. Whenever the market index dips, it collapses." She leaned in, scanning the screen. "You're overcomplicating it. Strip it down. Focus on the 3 dominant drivers." I frowned. 3 drivers? But the system tracks 9. "Forget 9, she said sharply. "Simplify. What are the top three? Labor costs, energy pricing, and material volatility, I replied, almost automatically. There you go. She crossed her arms. Now, rebuild it. Right here. I blinked. Now? In front of you? Unless you'd prefer I watch someone else struggle, she said with a slight smirk. The room chuckled nervously. My palms sweated, but I typed furiously, stripping the model back, recalculating, relinking the sheets. My heart pounded like a drum. After 5 minutes, I hit enter. The numbers stabilized, stronger than before. It worked. Evelyn raised an eyebrow. Of course it did. You knew the answer all along. You just didn't trust yourself. I swallowed. I guess I overthink. She tilted her head. Overthinking is just fear dressed up as intelligence. You're sharper than you give yourself credit for. Something flickered inside me, a tiny flame I hadn't felt since Sophia left. My manager clapped awkwardly. Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Carter. But she didn't look at him. She looked at me. What's your name? I straightened. Daniel. Well, Daniel, she said firmly. I like the way you think. Have you considered mentorship? The words hit me harder than I expected. Mentorship? With you? She smiled faintly. Why not? I see potential. You need guidance, not doubt. I hesitated. I'm not sure I deserve that kind of attention. Her eyes sharpened. Don't waste my time with false modesty. Either you want to grow or you don't. My voice cracked. I do. I want to. Grow. Good, she said. Then I'll expect progress. Send me your revised model by Friday, directly. My manager's jaw dropped. Directly? But Evelyn cut him off. Yes, directly. If you have a problem, take it up with me. The room went silent. I couldn't believe it. A CEO, someone powerful, elegant, untouchable, had chosen me. As the meeting ended, I caught her before she left. Why me? There are a dozen others here more qualified. She paused at the door, turning slightly. Because I saw hunger in your eyes. Hunger matters more than credentials. Don't lose it. The door closed behind her, and I stood frozen, breathless. My colleague nudged me. You just impressed Evelyn Carter. Do you know what that means? I shook my head slowly. No, but it feels like light after a long stretch of darkness. For the first time since Sophia shattered my world, I felt a strange, burning hope. Evelyn Carter believed in me, and maybe, just maybe, I could believe in myself again. Nights bled into mornings, and I barely noticed the sun anymore. The lamp on my desk became my closest companion, its flicker mocking me as I scribbled, typed, erased, and started again. My eyes burned, but I refused to stop. Evelyn leaned against the doorway one night, arms folded. You're running yourself into the ground. I can't afford to stop, I muttered, my fingers trembling over the keyboard. You think Sophia wins if you sleep? I think I lose if I rest, I snapped, then sighed. Sorry, I can't go back to who I was. She stepped inside, placed a cup of coffee next to me, and whispered, Pain can build empires, if you channel it right. But destroy yourself, and all you'll leave behind is rubble. I stared at her, trying to steady my breath. Then guide me. Tell me how to turn this into something that matters. Her eyes softened. I already am. Weeks turned to months. I pushed harder, reading, studying, showing up first at work, and leaving last. When my hands shook, Evelyn scolded me. When my doubts consumed me, she reminded me, this is the forge. Fire hurts, but it shapes steel. One evening, Lily caught me outside the office. You've changed, she said, walking beside me. Better or worse? Both. Better because you're sharper now, more focused. Worse because you look like you haven't slept in a year. I smirked. Sleep is overrated. She frowned. No, it's not. You're burning yourself. Why? I hesitated. My chest tightened, words sticking in my throat. Because I can't let failure define me again. Her voice softened. Then let something else define you, like strength or resilience, not revenge. I looked at her, surprised. You actually think I'm strong? She held my gaze, her cheeks warming. Stronger than you realize. The next day, Evelyn drilled me in her office. Presentation tomorrow? Investors. You ready? I've prepared the deck, rehearsed twice. Not enough. Again. I exhaled. You don't think I can handle it? I think you can. Exceed it. And I won't accept less. Hours passed as she picked apart my tone, my posture, even the way I stood. By midnight, I was raw, exhausted, but sharper. You're cruel, I muttered. Evelyn chuckled. Cruelty builds competence. Tomorrow you'll thank me. The presentation hit like a storm. Dozens of eyes fixed on me. My palms sweated, but Evelyn's voice echoed in my head. Steel yourself. I spoke with fire I didn't know I had, every slide sharp, every word deliberate. When I finished, silence lingered. Then applause erupted. Investors leaned forward, impressed. My boss clapped me on the back, grinning. For the first time, I felt the ground beneath me solidify. Later, Evelyn approached with a rare smile. You didn't just survive, you owned it. I swallowed hard. I almost fainted. But you didn't. That's what matters. Lily found me in the hallway, her eyes wide. That was incredible. Really? I asked, half laughing, half trembling. She nodded. I didn't know you had that in you. Neither did I. For a moment, silence stretched between us, her admiration wrapping around me like a strange comfort. I wanted to say more, to thank her for believing, but my voice faltered. She broke it first. Evelyn's tough on you. Yeah, sometimes I think she enjoys watching me suffer. Lily smiled faintly. She sees potential. People don't waste time shaping something they think is worthless. That hit deeper than I expected. So you think I'm worth shaping? Her eyes lingered on mine, and her answer was soft. Yes. Nights grew no easier, but I no longer hated the grind. The pain became fuel, each struggle a reminder that I wasn't the man Sophia had walked away from. I was becoming someone new, someone unrecognizable even to myself. One night, slumped at my desk, Evelyn placed another coffee in front of me. You're different now, she said. Different how? You stopped working to forget her. Now you're working to build yourself. I smiled faintly. Maybe both. Then keep going, but don't forget, empires are nothing without the person inside them. Weeks later, after another long day, Lily walked me out of the office. The night air was cool, quiet. You ever wonder, she asked, what all this struggle is leading to? Every night, I admitted. Sometimes I'm terrified it's for nothing. She shook her head. It's not nothing. I see you changing, and honestly, I admire it. I froze. You admire me? Her lips curved into a nervous smile. Don't let it go to your head. But it already had. That night, lying awake, I replayed her words. Admiration. Evelyn's mentorship. Lily's quiet faith. It all blended into something new, something stronger than the bitterness that once consumed me. I whispered into the dark. I'm not broken anymore. For the first time in months, I believed it. I was sitting in my apartment late at night when my phone lit up with an unknown number. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. Hello? I said cautiously. A familiar voice hit me like a punch to the gut. It's me, Sarah. My grip on the phone tightened. What do you want? I need to talk, she whispered. There's nothing left to say. You made your choice. Her voice trembled. Please just listen. I messed up. I shouldn't have left you for Mark. Hearing his name burned. Don't you dare say his name to me. He was my best friend. You both knew exactly what you were doing. I know. she said quickly, almost desperate. I thought I loved him, but it was a mistake. He never cared about me the way you did. I laughed bitterly. So now you realize, after tearing my life apart? Silence hung, heavy before she replied. I can't sleep at night. I keep replaying everything. The way you looked at me when you found out I destroyed the only person who ever truly loved me. Her words cut deep, but I stayed cold. You don't get to come crawling back because your little fantasy collapsed. I'm not crawling back, she argued, her tone breaking. I'm begging you for forgiveness. I'm begging you to at least talk to me like I matter again. You mattered, I shot back. More than anything, and you threw it away like it was nothing. I didn't throw it away, she cried. I was stupid, blinded. Mark promised me a future, said he was better for me. But he lied. He cheated on me, and when I needed him, he disappeared. I felt an ache in my chest, but I refused to soften. So now you want to use me to patch your wounds? I'm not your safety net, Sarah. Her voice cracked. You're not a safety net. You're the only person who ever truly knew me. Please, I need you. I clenched my jaw. You need me now, because you're alone. But where were you when I needed you?
Do you know what it felt like to watch the two people I trusted most betray me together? She started sobbing. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I swear to you, I've never stopped loving you. Not for a second. I felt my heart
twist, but anger held me firm. You don't get to use the word love so casually. Love doesn't abandon someone for their best friend. I was weak, she admitted. And I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Just tell me, is there even a small chance you could ever look at me the way you used to? Her question lingered like poison. I swallowed hard. You want the truth? Yes, she whispered. The truth is, part of me will always care for you, but the other part will never forgive you. And that second part, it's louder. She broke down completely. Please don't say that. I already said it, because it's the only way I can survive. If I let you back in, I'll never heal. Her sobs filled the silence. So that's it? After everything we had? I closed my eyes, fighting my own tears. What we had died the day you chose him. I'm sorry, she repeated over and over. I'll say it 1,000 times. I'll do anything to make it right. There's nothing you can do, I said firmly. Some wounds never close. Tried once more, her voice trembling. Can we at least meet? Face to face? Just once? I hesitated, the weight of her request pressing hard. Why? So you can look me in the eye and shatter me again? No, she whispered. So I can. Finally say goodbye properly if that's what you want. Her words shook me. I stayed quiet, staring at the ceiling. Please, she begged. One chance. That's all I'm asking. After what felt like forever, I finally said, Fine, one meeting, but don't expect anything beyond closure. Her sobs turned into shaky relief. Thank you. You don't know what this means to me. Don't thank me, I muttered. This isn't for you. It's for me, to finally end this chapter. The call ended, and I sat there in silence, my heart a storm of anger, grief, and unwanted hope. Did you hear the news? Daniel leaned against the cafeteria table, smirking. Sophia and Adrian finally decided to tie the knot. About time, right? I froze mid-bite. My fork clinked against the plate. What? He chuckled. Don't act surprised. The whole office is buzzing. Invitations are apparently going out this week. Big, fancy wedding, probably with a castle and doves. Flying overhead. Daniel, Lily muttered, shooting him a glare. Stop! What? I'm just saying the obvious. He grinned wider. Imagine the drama when you show up. That'll be the real entertainment. I pushed my tray aside. I'm not... My voice cracked, and I had to clear my throat. I'm not part of this circus. Lily placed her hand on mine. Are you okay? I blinked at her. The question felt heavier than it sounded. Was I okay? My chest burned, but I forced a laugh. Of course, why wouldn't I be? Daniel rolled his eyes. Please, You're practically sweating guilt and heartbreak. Don't tell me you're actually considering going. I didn't. Say that, I snapped. Good, because you'd look pathetic. He stood, grabbing his coffee. Anyway, can't wait to watch this train wreck unfold. He sauntered off, leaving a trail of mockery behind him. Lily exhaled, still holding my hand. Don't listen to him. He thrives on stirring the pot. But you don't have to pretend with me. My chest tightened. Pretend what? That it doesn't bother you? Her eyes softened. Because clearly it does. I rubbed my temples. How could it not? I spent years imagining a future with her, and now I'm supposed to smile politely while she marries someone else? You don't owe anyone a smile, she said gently. I laughed bitterly. So what do I owe myself? More nights lying awake, replaying everything I did wrong? Or maybe, she said carefully, you owe yourself peace. Peace. The word landed like a stone in water, rippling through me. That evening I sat alone in my apartment, lights dim, staring at the untouched. Dinner on my table. My phone buzzed. An email notification. My breath caught when I read the subject line, Sophia and Adrian. You're invited. The words blurred. I tossed the phone down, pressing my palms against my face. Why would they even send this to me? Pity, politeness, or cruelty? I barely noticed Evelyn entering until she flicked on the light. You're sitting in the dark again, I groaned. Do you always let yourself in? Do you always sulk without snacks? Rookie mistake. She set a bag of chips on the table and flopped onto the couch. I shot her a look. Not now. She raised an eyebrow. Wedding invitation, huh? I stiffened. How do you know? Please. Half the office is gossiping louder than karaoke night. I connected the dots. She ripped the chips open. So, what's the plan? Burn it? Frame it? Or cry on it for dramatic effect? I exhaled sharply. You think this is funny? I think life is cruelly ironic, she said between bites. But I also think you're missing the bigger question. And that is, do you want closure or not? I stared at her. Closure? You think watching Sophia walk down the aisle is closure? Sometimes, she said, licking salt off her fingers. Closure isn't about words, it's about presence. I shook my head. That makes no sense. It does, she insisted. Look, you keep circling the same drain. What if I'd said this? What if I'd done that? Maybe what you need isn't another conversation. Maybe it's to see her, one, last time and finally accept she's not yours. Her words stung, but the sting carried truth. I slumped back, whispering, what if it breaks me? Evelyn shrugged. Then at least you'll know you're not made of glass. You'll survive. You always do. Silence stretched between us, filled only by the crunch of her chips. Finally, I asked, and what if she sees me there and thinks I came to beg her back? Then let her think whatever she wants, Evelyn said firmly. You're not going for her. You're going for you. I swallowed hard. The idea rooted itself in me, fragile but real. She tossed the chip bag at me. Eat, and stop brooding. Big decisions require carbs. I caught the bag, managing a small smile. You're impossible. And yet, I'm right, she said smugly. Later, lying in bed, I replayed her words. Closure isn't about words, it's about presence. Maybe she was right. Maybe attending the wedding wasn't about them at all. It was about me walking into the fire and walking out whole. For the first time in weeks, the thought didn't terrify me. It gave me a strange kind of strength. I stood before the mirror, the knot of my tie perfectly aligned. For a moment, I just stared at myself. Sharp suit, steady eyes, calm heartbeat. I wasn't the same man who once begged for scraps of love. Tonight, I would walk into a hall filled with people who once doubted me. And beside me would be Evelyn Carter, the CEO whose presence alone commanded silence. Ready? Evelyn asked, her hand resting lightly on my arm. I exhaled. More than ready. The doors of the wedding hall loomed ahead, gilded and intimidating. Yet all I felt was an odd serenity. As the staff pulled them open, gasps echoed instantly. My shoes hit the marble with deliberate rhythm, Evelyn's hand intertwined with mine. I didn't need to announce anything. My arrival was thunder loud enough, a whisper floated. "Is that him? With Evelyn Carter?" We moved further inside, heads turning, conversations freezing. My eyes scanned the crowd until they landed on Sophia. She wore an ivory gown that sparkled under the chandelier, but her face turned pale as if she had seen a ghost. Adrian stood next to her, his smile twitching, his grip on the champagne flute too tight. Sophia's lips parted. "You've changed." I met her eyes, calm, steady. "Yes, and it seems you haven't." Her throat bobbed as if swallowing words she didn't dare say. Adrian stepped forward, feigning arrogance. Well, look who finally decided to show up. Playing dress up with the boss now, huh?" Evelyn chuckled softly, her voice laced with elegance. "Not dress up, Adrian. He's my right hand, my partner in every sense that matters, something you'll never understand." The room rippled with murmurs. Adrian's facade cracked. He tried to grin, but it came out jagged. "Partner? That's rich. He was just... I..." Cut him off. "Just what? The man you betrayed? The man you thought would break?" I leaned closer, my words a quiet blade. "Look at me. Do I look broken?" Sophia clutched her bouquet tighter. "I didn't know I thought..." "You thought wrong," I interrupted, keeping my tone even. "And that's all it ever was. Your thoughts about me. Never the truth." Evelyn tightened her hold on my arm. "Darling, let's not waste energy proving ourselves. The proof is already standing here." A guest whispered loudly enough for half the hall to hear. "He walked in, with Evelyn Carter herself? That says it all." I smiled faintly, not at them, but at the irony. Revenge once burned inside me like fire. Now standing here, I realized I didn't crave it. My presence, calm, untouchable, undeniable, was justice itself. Adrian scoffed, voice cracking. "Money and power don't make you better. You're still the same nobody." I tilted my head unshaken. "If I'm a nobody, why do I see fear in your eyes?" He froze, words stuck like thorns in his throat. Sophia shifted closer to him, her voice barely above a whisper. "I never wanted it to end like this." I answered softly. "Neither did I, but choices have consequences." Evelyn raised her glass, commanding attention. "To growth, to resilience, to standing tall even when others try to bury you. Tonight, let it be known, he is not a man to underestimate." The clinking of, glasses spread, hesitant at first, then stronger. I caught Sophia's trembling gaze. Adrian tried to laugh, but failed, the sound hollow. Sophia leaned toward me once more. "Do you still hate me?" I thought carefully, then shook my head. "No, I don't hate you. Hate would mean you still mattered. What I feel now is nothing. At all." Her shoulders slumped as though I had struck her harder than any insult could. Silence clung to her. Adrian muttered, "He's just pretending. All this is a show." Evelyn smirked. "If it's a show, then why does the spotlight refuse to leave him?" The guests chuckled, and Adrian's face reddened. I simply turned, away, no longer needing to fight. My silence was sharper than any blade. Sophia whispered once more, desperation leaking through. "Could we ever start over?" I looked at her, long enough for her to hope, then answered with finality. "The man you left behind doesn't exist anymore. You buried him. What stands before you now doesn't need you." Her eyes glistened. She bit her lip, nodding as though she finally understood. Evelyn whispered to me, but loud enough for them to hear, "Let's take our seats. We don't owe ghosts our time." I nodded, walking further into the hall with her. The air behind us thickened with Sophia's silence and Adrian's cracking bravado. I didn't need applause. I didn't need validation. Every step forward was a declaration. I had already won. Wait. Sophia's voice cracked as she grabbed my arm in the quiet corner of the hallway. Please just listen. I turned slowly, meeting her trembling eyes. What do you want, Sophia? My tone was flat, but my chest pounded like a drum. Her lips quivered. I made a mistake. I chose wrong. I thought he was what I wanted, but... She broke down, clutching her face. It's you. It's always been you. I felt a surge of heat rise, a clash of anger and pity. Funny, I said, forcing a bitter smile. Because I remember begging you to talk, to stay, to fight for us. And you walked away like I was nothing. I was scared, she whispered. He made me feel wanted. I didn't see what I had right in front of me. Don't rewrite history, I cut in sharply. You didn't lose me. You threw me away. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I regret it every day. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I keep seeing your face when I close my eyes. Please, can't we just try again? For a moment, silence hung heavy. My throat tightened, but I forced myself to breathe. You know what's crazy? I said softly. For months, I dreamed of this moment, hearing you admit you were wrong, that you missed me. I thought it would fix something in me, but now all I feel is free. Her eyes widened. Free? What do you mean? I mean, I finally understand my worth, I answered. I begged you for love, for honesty, for loyalty. You gave those things to someone else, and now you come crawling back expecting me to patch your guilt? She shook her head violently. No, that's not it. I'm here because I love you. I never stopped. Love? I almost laughed. If this is love, it's poison. Because real love doesn't abandon you when someone shinier comes along. Real love doesn't make you question if you're enough. Her knees buckled and she sank against the wall. Please, she sobbed. Don't leave me like this. I can't survive it. The sight tugged at me, but I clenched my jaw. You survived just fine when you left me. You survived when you were happy in his arms. Now it's my turn to survive, without you. Her hand shot out desperately. At least say you forgive me. I stared at her, the girl I once thought I'd marry, and let the words settle. I forgive you, I said, calm and final. But forgiveness doesn't mean a second chance. She gasped, as if the air had been punched from her lungs. So that's it? You're just walking away? Yes, I replied simply, because this time, I'm choosing me. Her sobs filled the corridor as I stepped back. Every part of me wanted to crumble, to pick her up, to comfort her, but another part, stronger now, refused. You'll regret this, she whispered through her tears. Maybe, I said, pausing at the door. But at least it'll be my choice, not someone else's. The weight on my shoulders lifted as I walked out. For the first time in months, I felt light, unshackled, whole. Her cries echoed behind me, but they no longer held me prisoner. I didn't just walk away from her that night. I walked into myself. I sat on the balcony watching the city lights flicker like restless stars. My phone buzzed. Daniel. So, Mr. Rising Star, how does it feel knowing your startup's finally breaking through? Me. We're not there yet. Daniel. Come on, don't downplay it. You've done more in 6 months than most people do in 6 years. Own it. I laughed softly, running my hand across the armrest. It still feels unreal, you know? Like I'm waiting for it all to collapse. Daniel. That's the old you talking. The guy who thought he wasn't enough. This you? You're unstoppable. I wanted to believe him, and maybe, deep down, I already did. The sliding door creaked as Lily stepped outside, holding 2 mugs. You boys planning on talking all night? Here, coffee, me. Thanks, perfect timing. Lily. I heard Daniel hyping you again. He's right though, you've changed. You're not that broken guy anymore. Daniel. Exactly. Even she agrees. I smirked. I thought you two enjoyed reminding me of my screw-ups. Lily. We used to. But now, you don't give us much material. I sipped the coffee. You have no idea how good that feels. Lily leaned on the railing beside me. Actually, I do. I saw you at your lowest. And look at you now. You've rebuilt yourself piece by piece. That's not just growth, that's courage. Her words sat heavy in my chest, warm and grounding. The screen door opened again. Evelyn. She stepped out with her calm, almost commanding presence. Evelyn. Celebrating without me? Me. Not celebrating, just reflecting. Evelyn. Good, reflection keeps you honest, but don't get too comfortable. This, she waved toward the city skyline, is just the beginning. Daniel. See? That's what I keep saying. Evelyn. Of course. You think climbing the mountain is hard? Try staying on top. I chuckled. Thanks for the reality check. Evelyn. Don't thank me. Just remember, success isn't a shield. People will still doubt you, test you, maybe even betray you again. But if you know your worth, none of that sticks. Her eyes met mine, steady and unwavering. And for the first time in years, I didn't flinch. Me. I used to think revenge would fix me, that proving them wrong was the point. Daniel. And now? Me. Now I realize it's not about them at all. It's about me, my choices, my life. The balcony went quiet, the kind of silence that didn't need filling. Finally, Lily broke it. Lily. So what's next? I smiled. Tomorrow, and the day after that, just living. Daniel grinned. And thriving. Evelyn added, and never forgetting who you've become. I set the mug down, leaned back, and let the night air wrap around me. Sometimes, I said slowly, the words heavier than I expected, the best revenge is not revenge at all. It's living a life they can never touch. The three of them nodded, and for once I didn't just speak the words. I believed them.